hat, and then these two lovely ladies are in her place. Super
I'm pretty
easy.
sure we're hot.
We're on Facebook Live right now?
Yeah.
Hey, Brian, what's going on?
Oh, nothing, man. What's going on with you?
I'm doing great, man. Tell me when you're ready to start recording this show.
Well, considering I just did.
Facebook World, we're about to go live in...
I didn't check everyone's mics real quick. So just give me a hello.
Hello.
One more time.
Hello.
Perfect.
Hello.
A little hot.
Hey, Facebook
hello.
Live.
All right, we're good.
All right. Facebook world.
All right, this is the Geaux Rouge Show with Franz Borchardt. You are in for a treat today. I've got some great guests lined up. I've got Curbside talking about Tots for Toys. I've got Overpass Merchant talking about Merchmas, which is much better than Festivus. I've got Gina Miller, the publisher, of Baton Rouge Real Producers, along with sponsored guest Brittany Melanson. We're going to talk about a hot new magazine coming to our shores that will be showcasing realtors in Baton Rouge. And then lastly, in our second half, we're going to have the Bourbon Society of Baton Rouge, Brian. The Bourbon Society of Baton Rouge. You know there's a festival coming to town, the Louisiana Bourbon Festival.
You had told me about this a little bit. Not enough.
Oh,
I don't know enough yet.
You're in for a treat, and I'm going to spoil the surprise.
Oh,
it's
no.
Talk 107.3.
No, Baton Rouge is in for a treat.
Right, let me tell you something. It's Talk 107.3, so if you're going to have the Bourbon Society of Baton Rouge on, that means there's going to be some on-air drinking. That will happen in the second half. But before we jump in, let's talk about some of our sponsors. We have Sullivan's Steakhouse. Geaux Rouge Radio is brought to you by Sullivan's Steakhouse. Try their Thirsty Thursdays. Louisiana Tech Park. The law offices of Smith, Shankling, and Sosa. They are a go-to personal injury firm. We have Realtor Brittany Melanson at Keller Williams Red Stick Partners. She's going to be on the show a little bit later. She's going to be one of our regular features on the show. And then we have the Borchardt Law Firm. So, fellas, what's going on?
What's going on, Franz?
So I got John Hodgins from Curbside, GM of Curbside, and I got Remy Ferguson, the GM of Overpass Merchant. I got some restaurant royalty here today, guys. So you guys are here today to talk about two things that are coming up in the holiday season. So we're going to jump right on in. John, tell us about Tots for Toys at Curbside.
So at Curbside, the last few years, we've been donating back to the Youth Oasis, which is a group that shelters homeless children and neglected children in the area.
Great organization.
Absolutely. So we've been doing things like cooking for them for Thanksgiving, and we gave them presents last year and kind of did a mini toy drive. So this year we thought we'd do a little bit more and kind of incentivize people to come in and give those wrapped toys and give these people that they don't have Christmas, they don't have the holidays like normal kids do. So we want to give them that.
So you bring a toy to Curbside, and what happens?
You get a free tot.
Wait a minute.
All day Friday.
All day Friday.
All day Friday.
So this coming Friday, I just want to make sure I'm on the same page with you. Bring a toy. Does the toy need to be wrapped or no?
Please wrap it if you can.
Right.
If not, it's not a big deal. We'll wrap it. But just as long as we know what it is so that we can kind of delegate it toward the right age group.
So we're talking tots.
Tots.
Okay.
Tots for toys.
So this is, and by the way, I want them to know you guys are doing a lot of community stuff.
Absolutely.
The Curbside Classic was just in
1 month ago.
Yeah, 1 month ago. That was to benefit
raised over $12,000 for the Children's Hospital of New Orleans towards pediatric cancer and families that are affected by that.
Good things,
so
man.
It's fantastic.
Well, as a staple of our community, I want to thank you guys for doing the community stuff you're doing. Look, it's great food, but obviously it's also nice when you can give back. And
Absolutely.
Youth Oasis is a great organization. Now, slightly changing wheels, 13 Days of Merchmas, baby. What is the 13 Days of Merchmas?
So 13 Days of Merchmas, everybody's familiar with 13 Days of Christmas.
This is Overpass Merchant.
Yes.
All right.
It's our little play on it. So, I mean, starting tomorrow, each day, there's be some sort of different kind of special. Local places actually donated some gift cards or little packages. Like we have calendars from Mint. Like I said, tomorrow starts $25 all-inclusive dinner. So you and a guest, $25. Come in, appetizer, entree, dessert. Just to get people in there.
So there's something happening for 13 days in a row.
Mm-hmm.
If they want to find out what's happening, are they going to go to your Facebook page or?
Yes, you can follow us on Facebook or Instagram.
So this is the Overpass Merchant doing 13 days of Merchmas. Now, you guys brought Christmas in here early, however. So here's the deal, guys. If you take this Geaux Rouge live Facebook Live video that's on the Talk 107.3 Facebook page, and you share it, you share this Facebook video and tag Curbside or merchant, or both if you want a chance to win
Definitely
both.
Definitely
All
both.
right. And tag Geaux Rouge. So you got to share it and tag that little @ symbol, and you have a chance to win some goodies. We like goodies. Brian, do you like goodies?
Love goodies.
Brian loves goodies. He's all about goodies. There's a lot of energy coming from over there, guys.
Noticed.
So the goodies are, we're going to do a drawing later this week, Friday. We're going to do a drawing for free gift cards, right?
Yep.
So couldn't be simpler, right?
Yep.
Grab this video, share it, and look. Let's talk about merchant again real fast. What kind of surprises are we in store for? I mean, you told me about the first one, but like
starting off, we got a little dinner, and like I said, it's going to rotate. So we have some special specialty cocktails we'll roll out certain days, and on our very last day, we have a little surprise pop up. Chef John Bro's been working on these things for a little while.
Can't tell us about the surprise.
No, man,
All right.
you got to come check it out.
So that will be the last day. Will that be Christmas Eve?
That
or
will be Monday. The
Monday after Christmas.
No, before Christmas.
I'm sorry, the Monday after Christmas. What time is that pop up?
It's actually going on all day.
All right.
Familiar with the what we did for?
I'm familiar. Yes.
All right.
I won't spoil the surprise either. But look, we got a little bit of time left. What else is going on at Curbside these days?
Well, I wanted to add on Friday from 4 to 6, for all the people with families in Mid-City, we're going to invite you out. We're going to have Santa taking pictures. We're going to have the Fugitive Poets will be on stage that night. So from 4 to 6, we'll have Santa. We'll take the pictures. They'll have a printer there. So if you don't want to wait in line at the mall, then just come to Curbside on Friday.
So it's important to note, and I live in Mid-City, Curbside is a family-friendly venue.
Pet-friendly as well.
Pets.
The right pets.
Can we talk about pets? Bringing your pets to restaurants for a second. So it's no secret. Okay, I'm gonna go on a tangent here. It's no secret that while I love animals, I sometimes think people love their animals way more than they should. And in fact, I'm gonna go here. Some people love animals more than they love human beings. And I've always been that guy that when I see somebody bring in their dog to a restaurant, I'm like, did you really need to do that? I mean, this is not like a toddler you couldn't leave home for 5 minutes. Help me understand why it's okay to do this. I know you're pet friendly. Help me understand this. You're a dog guy, right?
I'm a dog guy.
You got
a
big
lab.
dogs, right?
I got a big dog. I got
Okay.
a 100-pound dog.
Do you bring
And
your
so
dog places?
I don't, because he's too big. He would just pull me off the table.
Right. Could eat a
No,
little
I just-
child,
I
man.
I can't deal with that.
All right. But Curbside is.
But we are.
Maybe I just won't understand this. Now, Santa Claus. Now, Overpass Merchants, just so we're on the same page, Overpass Merchants is a little bit different. During the day, you can bring a kid, but at night it's more adult oriented, which is good, man. When I'm on a date with my wife, I have a 4-year-old. I don't want to be around other 4-year-olds.
And that's exactly what we want to do. We want
Cheese
that atmosphere.
curds and a
We
carafe of wine.
We want that atmosphere to where those of y'all who have kids, if y'all just want to get away for a minute, like have somewhere you can come, enjoy the atmosphere,
yes.
have a glass of wine.
So let me tell you guys, I'm very excited. You guys are very community oriented. We've done lots of projects together, whether it's the Mac and Cheese Fest, whether it's the Wingamania. By the way, Wingamania is coming, Brian. Wingamania is coming.
I hear.
First Thursday of March. It's going to be at Tin Roof.
Okay.
Charity event. Do you eat wings?
Supporting what?
Mary Bird Perkins.
Fantastic.
Fighting breast cancer, man.
That's awesome.
Do you eat wings?
A little bit.
Do you cook wings?
Yeah, a little bit.
I think I'm going to try to get a 107.3 team out there, too. But anyways, so we've done lots of projects together, guys. And look, whether it's fighting pediatric brain cancer, whether it's raising money, I mean, you guys, Nick Huff and the team over at Merch, y'all are constantly doing community-oriented stuff. So, man, I want to thank you guys. And look, anything else we need to know about Curbside or Merchant before I cut you boys loose?
I think that's it.
No, man.
All right. So grab a quick little hat over there. So every guest on the Geaux Rouge show earns themselves. Remy, you can grab two of those hats. Earns themselves one of these illustrious hats. So here's the deal with the hats, Brian. If you grab a hat or you get a hat and you take it to your business and photograph you wearing the hat at your business, I'll showcase it on the Geaux Rouge Facebook page as well.
I thought you were going to say you'd win a second hat.
No.
Bumper
No.
sticker?
No.
Okay.
These hats are like look, this hat, it's like a rodeo belt buckle, brother. You can't buy these things. You got to earn them. Actually, you can buy them. It just
I was
sounds
going
really
to
cool.
say, that would be terrible if you couldn't buy them.
Terrible marketing ploy.
Bad funds.
So yeah, I appreciate you guys coming on. Remy, always a pleasure. John, thank you guys. Hit Curbside this Friday. Bring a wrapped toy. Don't be lazy. Wrap the toy. Any price? By the way, any price value on the toy?
No, I mean, obviously keep it simple.
Right.
Ages range from probably 8 to about 17.
Yeah. Don't get a bucket of dirt and call it Play-Doh.
Please,
Like get
yeah.
something
No
that's
charcoal.
nice. No. No charcoal?
I get the charcoal.
I don't even know what to say about this. Anyways, John, Remy, y'all have a good one.
Thank you, Ron.
So, as these boys leave the studio, I've got a new treat for you guys. I've got Remy Ferguson and Brittany Melanson who are going to join us. Brian, I got to tell you, man, Brittany is one of our show sponsors. I love what she's doing in Baton Rouge. She's trying to change the real estate game, and I am excited to be seeing y'all. Come on in. I'm excited to be seeing the Baton Rouge Real Producers magazine coming, and I'll tell you what. I'm all about showcasing other people, and that's essentially what this publication does. So I figured I'd invite Gina and Brittany on. Ladies, how's it going?
Good.
All right, so Gina, let's jump on in. We got a little bit of time. Tell me a little bit about yourself and the Baton Rouge Real Producers magazine.
Okay. Well, I'm native Texan.
Uh-oh.
Been in Baton Rouge for 4.5 years now. Got my real estate license, but my background is journalism, and so when I heard about Real Producers, I married the two careers, and here I am.
How do you juggle it? How do you juggle all that?
I don't know. I don't know. I just do it.
I tell people I don't sleep a lot.
Yeah.
And that makes them uncomfortable. So, okay. So you're a realtor.
Yes.
And by the way, Brittany, you're definitely a realtor.
Definitely a realtor.
So tell them a little bit about you.
My dad was a carpenter and a true craftsman, and I grew up in real estate. And more than the cost, I guess I just fell in love with the whole art of it all. So I'm passionate and I'm in it.
So
grew up in it.
So what is the Baton Rouge Real Producers magazine? What is this publication, this hot new thing that's coming to Baton Rouge?
Okay. Well, Real Producers is basically a platform that's going to connect the best in the service industry with the best realtors in a metropolitan area.
Cool.
We're in over 110 cities.
Okay.
We have about 2,400 partners, most of which will tell you they don't do traditional advertising because they're looking for a way to create those realtor referrals and warm relationships.
They've all been vetted.
Right.
Yes.
So how do you end up in the magazine?
You end up in the magazine. Well, first you have to be in the top 300.
Okay.
Okay. To be featured. It is hyper-local, hyper-focused about local realtors.
Okay.
It's about the top 8%. And you wind up in there through a nomination process. So for the past 2 months, what I've been doing is just seeing one right after the other and sitting down with them for coffee and hearing their stories and trying to find that content that goes beyond their real estate career. I want the story.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if I open up this publication, let's say Brian Haldane is a realtor. Let's
Okay.
say he decides I'm out of the radio game, guys. I'm moving houses like hotcakes. If I flip to Brian's page, what would I see about Brian? What would I learn about Brian? I mean, obviously he's the top gun of realtors, right? He's in the top
Right.
300. That's right, Top Gun reference, Brian Haldane.
Yes, we would know that Brian does not just buy and sell houses or help people buy and sell houses, that he also has a radio career. And
Okay.
other than that, he wears glasses and he supports LSU.
So there's a bio component to this,
Buy,
right?
Definitely.
You do support LSU, don't you?
I work for LSU, yes.
We
work
have
for
on
LSU?
LSU clothes, so
You work for LSU? I like that.
I do. I work for sports properties. It's what I do on the weekends when I'm not working here.
I didn't know that.
Okay.
That's a new thing. See, if I would have read the magazine, I would have known
Or
this.
if you
Right.
listen to the games, yeah.
I watch the games, my friend. I watch the games. I experience them.
It's an LSU tradition. Turn down the sound on your TV. Turn up the LSU Sports
like
Radio
it.
Network.
So, okay. So that's a good example, right?
Uh-huh.
So on the other side of this, why is it important that realtors know realtors? Why is it important that a realtor know a little bit about another realtor?
well, I think it makes the transaction run better. I think there is a competitive edge to it, but it takes one for each side of the transaction, so why not get along, know each other better?
Right.
You may find somebody that you may later want to form a team with or do business with. So I just think it's all about playing nice.
So
And it's a social magazine.
Yeah,
so,
definitely.
I mean, it really connects everyone. I mean, a lot of times you're just sitting at the closing table, and it's really nice to see what's working in their business and what they're doing.
I know that the real estate game is competitive. I'm being rude as I talk to you because I'm sharing on Facebook what we're talking about so that everybody that you know can see it. Everybody you know. So I
That's
do
what it's about.
apologize. If you're seeing me do this, that's why I'm being rude. So let me ask you this. It is a competitive field, right? But in the same breath, you're working with these people time and time again, right?
Right.
So it's okay to be a cheerleader for people that are good realtors because it makes the sale go better, right?
Absolutely.
Okay. And just because you're selling at this particular time, you may be buying the next time.
Right. No, I
Okay.
mean, I want for everyone's success. So.
Okay.
And I really think that the magazine is not created as a premise to alleviate that competitive edge to it.
Right.
It's really just to enhance the relationships that you already have. We want to.
Right. And that's what, being a realtor is about. I mean, it's building relationships with people.
What's the hardest part about being a realtor?
Building relationships with people.
Tell me more, Brittany.
No, I'm teasing. It is very competitive. So
Look, the
you
lawyer.
have your hurdles with
So
that.
the lawyer field is probably very similar. In fact, I dealt with what I call poaching. You know what poaching is when somebody takes something that doesn't belong to them and makes it their own. So I'm sure you know what poaching is in your field.
Yes.
I dealt with that today. And it's like you sit there professionally and you're like, do I call the other attorney? Do I just let it go and say that this is a karmic way of just balancing things? You know, it's tough, right?
Yeah, it definitely is. At the end of the day, I just I'm very passionate about what I do. So I hope that those relationships that I did build, that they speak for themselves and
Right.
they are loyal to me and
And I'll say this.
continue to work together.
And I'll say this, Gina, about Brittany. I said to you, I don't know how you do it. This gal, single mom, right?
Yeah.
Juggling, raising a kid, and working, because the realtor's hours are not 9 to 5, right?
No.
I mean, there's oftentimes we're talking about some concept for the show, and it's like, hey, I'm showing a house on a Sunday at 6
Right.
or whatever, and it's like, how do you juggle that? Like, how does, and you're a former realtor, and there's realtors out there listening, so they'll understand what I'm getting at is, how do you have normal with that? Like,
It's a lot of hats to wear. Always raised my daughter and I tease her that she's like a little Vanna White opening up the property. So, I mean, we just made it work. We're a modern family in my house.
okay.
And you were bragging on Brittany, if I can interject this. Like, I met with her because she reached out to me, and I reached out back out
Right.
to her, and we met for coffee at a coffice, as I call them, like
Coffice.
a coffice. We met there, and let me just publicly apologize to all the coffee places where I show up and get water. A day's coming, drinks are on me, but today we're drinking water.
You know, if you go to Overpass Merchant or Curbside, you can get an adult beverage.
Water and tots.
I mean,
Friday.
you don't have to be
Maybe
like
I do.
Franz who drinks in the daytime. But I'm just saying,
Okay, well, thank you for that. But I
free
met
plug to
with-
Overpass Merchant and Curbside.
Exactly.
The boys are still in the room, by the way. So.
But I met with Brittany, and we immediately hit it off, and we became friends
Right.
directly after that. But had it not been for Real Producers, she would have been just another realtor that I maybe hear about or possibly get to do a transaction with sometime. But because of who she is and the way that she wants to get to know people better, that's what I feel is going to make her successful in the industry. It's knowing people, and the only way that you do that is by asking questions. And Brittany knows how to get to know somebody and makes it about them instead of her.
So I have said from day one of doing all the crazy stuff I do for Geaux Rouge or Baton Rouge brunches, I've told this to Brian Haldane, I've told this to the fellows that are in here, when you elevate other people, when you celebrate other people, when you showcase other people, when you put a spotlight on somebody that's not you,
Exactly.
there's a weird side effect that you get elevated to. Whether it's because you become the nice gal that's just doing good, whether it's because, and candidly, let's point it out. You wouldn't be here, Gina. I mean, I would have met you at some point, but you wouldn't be here if I wasn't talking to Brittany about, hey, I want to get some good people on the radio. I want to have them on the Geaux Rouge show. Who do you think?
Yeah.
And that's what's going to be really great about Real Producers in Baton Rouge. It's an all-inclusive toolbox
Right.
with all the vendors. So they're only coming to the magazine by referral from all your top realtors. So all these people are a database that you know they're a good plug, a good source. So building relationships and I mean, beyond the pages, you get to see a little bit of the success stories and all that. But really, really, working with the people in the community, and that can be everybody from a locksmith. I mean,
So, okay, let's fast forward to this hot publication comes out. How would I get it? Where do I find it? Do I subscribe? Is it digital? Tell me, give me the scoop.
Okay, so we have a very small targeted audience.
Right.
This is going to go out for free to the top 300 residential agents in
Okay.
the MLS here in
Okay.
the greater Baton Rouge area. They don't just receive it, though. They share it with their friends and family and client. They share it on Facebook, and when they're featured in it, they're framing it. So it's something of value to them, with it being just that select audience. It's a very exclusive, elite invitation to be a part of something that's really big.
Awesome. All right, so how are we going to get you to the top 300? Let's do it.
I'm coming with you to the mac and cheese fest next year.
Right. Well, and look, look. One of the ways you get your branding and marketing out is doing like you're doing. You know, being a supporter of Geaux Rouge and all the people we're going to have on here. You know, you're going to and look, we're going to have Gina. You're going to have to come to one of these Sullivan's Thirsty Thursdays.
Am I?
Because we basically do Facebook Live interviews there. They're shorter, so like we would invite Remy and John out to drink at Sullivan's. And basically do a Facebook Live with the boys drinking, and we would interview them about a topic. But, you know, what's interesting to me is, and why I like the publication, is you guys are going to be doing stuff that isn't just fitting into the four corners of realtor. Mm-hmm. I want to know, I mean, look, if somebody's going to either sell me a house or help me buy a house, which on all accounts is one of the most important things you're going to do. I mean, one of the biggest financial moves you're going to do as a human being, most likely,
Right.
is buying or selling a house.
Right.
I have only bought one house in my lifetime. I can't imagine what it's like selling a house. And Brian just said it sucks.
Oh, it sucks.
I bought an old house, and so I live in an old house, and it's like Money Pit. It's like Money Pit, like circa 2019. If you've ever watched Money Pit,
I love that movie with Tom Hanks.
oh yeah, it's just like what's gonna go wrong next? Oh, a busted pipe. Oh, the wood flooring is warping. How nice, you know. That being said, look, ladies, if they want to get more information about the magazine or you, what can they do to kind of find out some more? I know the publication's only going to go to the 300, but just get some real. There's a Facebook page, right?
There is a Facebook page, Baton Rouge Real Producers. I have an Instagram account and a Facebook page. They can call me directly if they want to schedule a time to sit down for coffee or whatever, and we want to discuss. I want to hear about their business and how they can get
Sure.
in front of these top realtors and maintain that top of mind awareness with the really productive ones. So I kind of create that connection between them because it's really hard to meet with them because they're busy.
And
Yeah.
Brittany, how do they get in touch with you if they want to find you?
I also have a Facebook and Instagram, and
Cool.
then they can give me a call or text me.
All right.
And-
Well,
Okay, I didn't
no, there's more. There's more.
give my number. I don't know if I could do that.
I
or
wouldn't
not.
give-
I'll
Look, the
it's
Geaux
fine.
Rouge-
Find me on Facebook. Or
Yeah, the
Instagram.
Geaux Rouge
That's probably
people
better.
following and watching this would probably love to have your phone number.
It's everywhere.
Yeah.
I don't care.
Your professional number,
Right,
not
my
your like
professional.
home
Absolutely.
number. Where do you live again? No, joking.
Oh, gosh.
No. That's another conversation for another day. But anyways, ladies, thank you guys for coming. We've got some Geaux Rouge hats. Gina, I don't know if you wear hats or not.
Oh, I totally wear hats.
Same deal. If you take a picture in the hat, you get
Consider it
some love. Thank you, ladies. Brittany,
Thanks.
always a pleasure.
Yeah.
Gina, and look,
Thank you.
look before you leave, say hello to the boys over there. Talk to them about Merchmas and tots for toys, not toys for tots. I don't want to get curbside sued.
Tots for toys.
And then also, if you guys don't mind taking a photo,
Okay.
take a photo of you guys
With our hats.
with the hats. All right. So now we're going to be transitioning, Brian. We're still on Facebook Live, right?
Yes.
We're going to be transitioning into the second half hour, so we're going to let David and Jamee Steele come in here, get set up before we jump in. Hey, Jamie. Hey, David. So, guys, we are about to be treated to the founders of the Bourbon Society of Baton Rouge. Can you let these guys come on in? Come on, Remy. They're going to be talking about bourbon, dude. Oh, yes.
All right,
So-
hang tight for 1 second for podcasting purposes. We're
Yeah.
still good on Facebook
Yeah.
Live. We're just going to start the second half of
Yeah,
it.
but we're not going to do it until you
No,
cue
I
us
know,
up.
but I've stopped the first half.
All right. It's still on Facebook Live, though, right?
Yes.
Okay. This is Brian Haldane, by the way, everybody. Brian Haldane, Jamie.
How's it going?
This is David Steele and Jamie Steele. They brought bourbon, by the way. Bourbon. They brought. Oh wait, they brought a lot of bourbon. A lot of bourbon. I like a lot of bourbon. So here's the deal. While they're setting up, I'm going to tell you guys why have the Bourbon Society of Baton Rouge on your radio show. Well, the answer is simple. I love me some bourbon, and a lot of what David and Jamie are doing. I would say David and Jamie. Are you a co-founder? Is that a fair statement?
Not a co-founder.
She's the
technically.
unsung co-founder.
She's the unsung co-founder. A lot of what David is doing is, and we're going to talk about it during the segment, is absolutely wonderful for the community. It's Jesus Christ. Look at all this bourbon. Look at all the bourbon. I haven't had lunch yet, but I know what I'm about to drink for lunch. All right. Y'all get comfy. Brian, you can't have any bourbon today, can you? Or you can?
No, I can't.
That's a shame. That's a shame. Ladies, thank y'all for coming. All right, Geaux Rouge Facebook Live family, 107.3 family. Just give us a count off whenever you are ready, sir.
Yep, give me a second.
You brought water too.
Well, for me.
We're not going to talk about you going to law school on radio.
Okay.
But we're going to talk about you going to law school.
I mean, I'm all for it.
It's going to be stressful.
She's going to have time, but
It's
I'm all
stressful.
for it.
All right, here we go. Stand by.
Where's the camera?
Welcome back to the Geaux Rouge Show. This is Franz Borkhardt. You're listening on Talk 107.3 as well as Facebook Live for 107.3 and Geaux Rouge. Hey, guys. How's it going?
Hey, Franz.
I've got David and Jamee Steele in the studio today from Bourbon Society of Baton Rouge. We're going to talk about some awesome stuff. But first, before we jump into that, let's talk about some of our sponsors. The Geaux Rouge Show is brought to you by Sullivan's Steakhouse. Make sure you try their Thirsty Thursdays. The Louisiana Tech Park. Law offices of Smith, Shanklin, and Sosa, a premier go-to injury law firm. Realtor Brittany Melanson. We met Brittany in the first half. Brittany will help you list it, sell it, and move on. Brittany Melanson from Keller Williams Red Stick Partners. And last but not least, the Borkhardt Law Firm. I like the Borkhardt Law Firm. I hear those are some good folks over there. That's my law firm, yes. So, Jamie, David, how's it going? Life's good?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, things are great. We just had our big Christmas raffle last week, and we were very happy with everything.
So, talk to me about the Christmas raffle. One of the big things you guys do is community-oriented projects, right?
We try to.
Making this place better, both with bourbon and good community work. So, it was a charity event, right?
Yeah, so it was a Toys for Tots charity.
Toys for Tots. I like it.
We ended up raising 800 toys. We're not quite sure on the cash donations yet. We're thinking. Well, we had 50.
I saw you with a big check.
We'll say that number was wrong. That was on the low side.
We wanted to get a picture with the Marines
Right.
that were there, so we did what we could guarantee, which was $6,400. And but we're still waiting on our final totals because some made credit card contributions directly to the Toys for Tots. So we're trying to get
Gotcha.
that total. So we think it's going to be somewhere in the range of $8,000. So
Oh, yeah.
800 toys, $8,000.
Yeah.
Giving back always goes
With
down
the
smooth.
Bourbon Society.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very, very happy.
Boozed and giving back. I like it. So, okay, let's take a step back. I have gone to a couple of your events. I have not yet officially joined the Bourbon
have
Society.
not.
It's going to happen. It's gonna happen.
BourbonBR.com/join.
Right. We're going to get there too. So where did you come up with this? And look, an acceptable answer is I love bourbon. You know,
I mean, it is as simple as that. I guess people ask me, I tell them it started with, I guess, back in like 2013, 2014. I really started getting into bourbon a lot. Drank it in college or more whiskey like Jack Daniels, stuff like that. But I remember reading about this, the Heaven Hill, which is this huge distillery. They're actually the largest family-owned distillery. They caught on fire and they ended up losing 90,000 barrels in an afternoon, which was like 2% of the world's whiskey stock at the time. But the very next week, the people at Heaven Hill were just still in at Jim Beam, and the week after that, they're at Maker's Mark, and then at Jack Daniels, and they were just going everywhere distilling, so they actually didn't lose any time distilling. And it's like, I just realized how cool it is of this group, this community, that, you know, even though you're business is out,
So the too long didn't listen to that is that David is trying to hide his drinking problem, and it turned into the Bourbon Society of Baton Rouge.
Yeah.
Because if you have a drinking problem with bourbon, you should be around other people that have bourbon drinking problems.
Right, exactly.
Well, look, and here's the thing I love about bourbon, and we're going to talk about this in a little bit, so I don't want to spoil it entirely. Bourbon is not, in and of itself, an inherently expensive drink.
No.
So if you're going to drink something, I mean, bourbon, there's nothing wrong with drinking good, reasonably priced bourbon.
Mm-hmm.
So how did it start, though? I mean, like, you just decided, hey, I'm going to start this society?
Basically, I was watching documentary. They interviewed the Los Angeles Bourbon Society president, and I go, oh wow, that is so cool. Does Baton Rouge have Bourbon Society? Jamie looks it up. Nope, they don't have one. And we're like, well, let's just start one. And literally as simple as that. Text my best friend, my co-founder Jacob Dawson, and he's like, let's do it. And that was 4.5 years ago.
So how does one start a society up? Like, walk me through that process. It's like you're basically reaching out to people and saying, hey, come hang out with me and enjoy bourbon.
Come drink with me.
This is where Jamie's skills like really sank in, because I mean, I was just like, I want to drink bourbon with other people. She's like, well, let's start a Facebook page. Let's make a website. What else did we do?
We got on all social media platforms. It's okay.
So unprofessional. So Jamie, you and it bears importance. Jamie works for David Tapman in the Tapman Group. So Jamie helps administer organizations all day long, right?
Yes, it is.
That's an oversimplification of what you do, but
yes, it is my day job. So part of the Tapman Group is association management. We also do government relations. We also do consulting services. But my day job is organizing and managing 9 trade and professional associations. So part of that is the communications aspect. So we nailed into that, got all our social media, did website, all of that, got a beautiful logo, which you can see at bourbonbr.com.
Yes.
I don't have anything with it that's
okay.
large enough, but a beautiful glass. We got all of that set up. And in 2015, it was really just very, very casual. So
right.
we have one of our biggest bar partners is the Lost Cove at their previous location. We would meet up there very frequently, and basically had quarterly outings. Not until this year did we start a true membership in the organization.
The 501c7.
Well, that kind of morphed, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
It morphed into, and I know this, again, I'm not yet a dues paid member, but it morphed into pay your dues.
Yeah.
But there's one of the cool things about paying your dues is if you're a dues paid member, you get what?
Tons of benefits. You get
Right.
discounts around town, 20% off Lost Cove, 20% off Hayride, and the new one, Pelican of Mars. Oliver Twist, you get 15% off.
This is going to pay for itself over time.
Oh, I paid for myself.
One outing,
Nice.
depending on how much you drink.
Yeah.
You get an alcoholic in disguise. And then 3 Roll Estate, you get a discount, and also at our grocery store partner, Oak Point and Watson
Okay.
and Central, you get discounts there too.
So walk me through a typical meeting. So you show up. Generally, there's a raffle component, right?
There's
You're
always a
always
raffle.
giving away something.
Always giving away something.
Right. So you show up. What would you? So you pay your dues. You join the society because you love bourbon. You're listening to David and Jamie talk. What typically happens at the meetings?
So our meetings are very, very casual. It's
Right.
really just a social gathering. So we set up at the bar, and we typically just have something to identify us, which is our big. We have a bourbon barrel cap that has our logo on it to show people where we're at in the bar. And we just, as people come in, we visit with them, connect them with other members that they may want to talk to. Like within our group, we have our Scotch guys and we have our Irish whiskey guys and that sort of thing. So we are the Bourbon Society, but we love all whiskeys.
Right.
And we want everyone to come and drink with us. So we also have a lot of wine drinkers who dabble in bourbon and that sort of thing. So we just try to connect them with people who drink similar things as them or maybe have a similar background. And it's just social hour. We give raffle tickets at the very beginning. You get a raffle ticket, and at kind of the end of the event, we pull the raffle for however many bottles we have to give away.
And these are nice,
solid bottles.
solid bottles, right?
Yeah.
I mean, okay. So I guess what I'm getting at is why wouldn't you join this
Yeah,
society?
if you drink
I mean,
bourbon, you need to be a part of the
Right,
group because, I mean, at our last function, we just had our Christmas raffle, which is our biggest event of the year, but we had 56 bottles to raffle off, and all you had to do was show up with toys or with a donation for Toys for Tots. Every $10 toy or $10 donation you gave got you raffle tickets. We had people that bought $500 worth of tickets, that sort of thing, but we had just over 200 people in attendance, and we had 56 bottles. So your chance of going home with something was very, very high, and we really want to keep that up.
Yeah.
So it's funny because there are certain things in life that intimidate people. I smoke a lot of cigars. Cigars are intimidating to people because they don't know what kind of cigar to smoke. Wine, intimidating to people.
Yes.
Bourbon has that kind of mystique to it too. And
Yes.
and by the way, some people, Brian Haldane, some people have some strong feelings about bourbon. Like if I post a picture of a certain bourbon and David doesn't condone my drinking of it, he's going to let me know.
Yeah.
So
David's a little ruthless.
Sorry.
I am a big Glenn Levitt fan. I'm sorry. But let me ask you this. Peel back some of the layers, and we're gonna be talking. Brian, I don't know how much time we have in the first half of this segment. We're doing okay?
2 minutes.
We got 2 minutes. So we're gonna peel back some of the layers because we're gonna talk about in the second half affordable bourbons that won't break the bank that you can really try or buy for a gift or something. Peel back a layer. Like, what is the most common misconception with bourbon? What is the most common mistake with bourbon, if you will?
People go too big too quickly.
Okay.
They come in, they hear about Pappy Van Winkle. I can't tell you how many people have asked me how to get Pappy or
I saw a picture of you last night holding a bottle of Pappy.
we did raffle
Yeah.
off a lot B. So, but I mean you got to start with the Maker's Marks, the Buffalo Traces. Don't start with Blanton's. Don't start with Pappy or George Stagg. Start small and work your way up. Don't come in thinking that you deserve a Pappy because you've been wanting it.
Deserve.
I'm telling you,
He used
how
the
many
word
people-
deserved.
I did. I mean, it's insane how many people think they should have one after being a bourbon drinker for a week.
So, okay, this is the other question I have because I do this with cigars. I geek out on cigars. I make notes, mental. I'll text it on my cell phone. I make notes about taste.
Yeah.
Like, and I don't have a great taste platform, so my description is not oaky, nutty, sunny, ocean. But I too try to write down stuff so I can remember this is what I thought of or this is what I experienced. Can you do that with bourbon? I know that's a stupid question, but I mean,
All the time. I mean, literally, I have on my website, I have reviews of different bourbons that I like, and I give my tasting notes
Right.
and what you would expect to try when you see them.
do you compare the notes from the manufacturer or the producer to what you?
Always. I like
Okay.
to see what they expect you to drink or what they say you should be tasting, and then I like to compare to what I actually taste.
So one of the big Brian Haldane and Franz bourbons, I have a buddy that gives me a lot of Jamesons, and the Cooper's Crow Jameson is my favorite. I think I brought you some for the hurricane, did I not?
That is correct.
Yeah. Not
But it's not a
inher-
bourbon. That's an Irish.
That's an Irish whiskey.
Okay, I'm sorry. It's an Irish whiskey.
We accept everyone. Remember?
I know.
There you go.
But when I talk about bourbons, though, my favorite bourbons are actually very reasonably priced. Now, yeah, there's some higher end bourbons that I like to drink, and I have a bottle of Blanton's at the office. I have a little bit of Pappy, I have a tickle of Pappy left in a bottle that somebody bestowed on me. It's the only time I've ever felt good about getting somebody's used It's not backwash, but I mean it was just so okay. You brought some bourbons today, right?
I did.
And we're going to ease, Brian, we're going to start easing into the second half of this segment, which is tasting bourbons.
Have at it. We have glasses.
Go Rouge.
Thanks to
we
Jada
have,
Cody.
We have Jada Cody glasses. You brought some glasses.
We did. We brought our beautiful.
I want to use the Bourbon Society of Baton Rouge glasses.
Great.
But before we jump into this, I have to talk about something, Brian. Louisiana Bourbon Festival. Can we spend 5 minutes talking about that, or at least 2 minutes talking about that?
Yes, yes.
All right.
I don't
So
know if you can
Facebook, where
see.
there's a camera right there.
Kind of bad, but-
There is a Louisiana Bourbon Festival that you guys are planning. There is actually a Facebook page that you guys started up for
Yes.
it. So give me a minute to 2 minutes on what you guys are planning and where will the
Can
where
I
will this
give
be?
Can I give quick details and then
Yes.
you can say what it's about? So we have the Louisiana Bourbon Festival. It's coming up. Mark your calendars. It's October 17th, 2020. It's going to be here in town at the Renaissance Hotel. And we will be releasing tickets later in the spring, but all proceeds are benefiting the Alzheimer's services of the capital area. I don't know if you're familiar with the organization, but they run two facilities that have their incredible state-of-the-art facilities called Charlie's Place, that you can bring your loved ones with Alzheimer's to spend some time with others who have Alzheimer's, and also if you're a caretaker, to get a little bit of time away from those folks with Alzheimer's and that
Charlie's
sort of thing.
Place is the greatest respite for family members of Alzheimer's patients.
Yes.
I get to spend some time there a couple months ago, and I was floored with just the level of care that they provide. But for the family members, just that clocking out for 30 minutes, clocking out for like 3 hours.
Right.
And just, you don't think about it when you're not in it day to day. But when you are in it day to day, it's more than a full-time job. It is your life.
Yes.
So
absolutely.
to be able to step aside and say, you know what, I just want to go eat.
Right. Get a part away, and it's really incredible. You said that the care that they give, but also the thought they give into everything that they produce there. Every single move that you make in the facility was thought out and is carefully planned.
Yeah.
And they don't have a very big benefit, so we wanted to come in and really make an impact in the city. So we did our research and looked around and tried to find a group, and Alzheimer's Services was the one that has
this
incredible.
also that was voted on by our
Yes, by our
society.
membership.
We sent it, we gave our three options to our group, and 75% wanted to do Alzheimer's.
So
If not
Because it
more.
affects everybody.
So
somebody has somebody.
I love event planners. As you know, I dabble. I'm not nearly as good as having a Louisiana Bourbon Festival, but I love it when there's a good event that has a charity hook to it. And I say charity hook, I mean that in a good way.
No, this is their lead. This is I'm like fully on board, because
like
this is where
bourbon?
your heart was in before the bourbon. Their heart was in where the money's going.
Right.
Yes,
Yeah. So
absolutely.
I mean,
that's
when
awesome.
it comes down to what we want is to build a better community through good bourbon. That's it.
That's our mission.
it makes perfect sense to me. Just like Baton Rouge brunches.
Yes.
Building a better Baton Rouge through brunch.
Right.
Building a better Baton Rouge through bourbon.
Yes.
what
We're going to cure cancer with this stuff.
or brain cancer or
brain cancer,
Alzheimer's.
yeah.
Yes. And that's really the point of why we've really ramped it up and started a membership this year and everything, was because we did want to give back more. We knew that we had an incredible group of people, and we wanted to tap into that resource and really build on the community we've been building.
So real fast, give me the deets, and then we have to jump into the tasting.
Okay, it's October 17, 2020. It's going to be a day of seminars. We'll have tastings. We have the phenomenal Chuck Cowdery. He is a whiskey author. He's been writing about whiskey for 30 years. He's our keynote speaker.
It's going to be in Baton Rouge.
in
Baton
Baton Rouge,
Rouge
at the Renaissance Hotel. And all the details can be found at bourbonbr.com/bourbonfest.
Yes.
And then you can also go to louisianabourbonfest.com.
So we're going to do a giveaway later today, to where if you share this video, like the Facebook page, tag them, they're going to give away a bottle. But in addition, guys, if you're still watching from the first segment, share this video, tag Curbside, tab Overpass Merchant, and you have a chance to win those gift cards too.
Woo-hoo.
All right, let's jump into this. How much time we got, Brian? We need to get sipping.
7 minutes.
Oh, we may have to go over. Like we'll stop at 7. Yeah,
Facebook Live doesn't have a limit.
there are no limits at Facebook Live. Okay,
Right.
so real fast, give us the highlights of what we're trying today and why we're trying it.
All right, so like we said, you can start bourbon anywhere, and I wanted to start at the basics, at the very beginning. So we're doing Buffalo Trace,
Okay,
Knob Creek, and Maker's Mark.
these are all bourbons you can find in most grocery stores, right?
Buffalo Trace is the hardest one to find, but right now Baton Rouge has a ton of it. But the other ones you can find anywhere, any given time.
Okay.
So we're going to start with Buffalo Trace, which is also distilled. This is a distillery where Blanton's comes from. Papin Van Winkle comes from this distillery. This is where it gets started.
Price points on each of these.
Buffalo Trace is $21.99 right now on sale from Oak Point. The Makers is about $24.99, and Knob Creek is $26.99, give or take. So all under $30.
So biggest question I have
Wow, I
is,
just poured a lot, by the way.
Jamie, do you drink bourbon as well?
I actually do not drink bourbon. I don't drink very many liquors at all, but I enjoy smelling them.
They do smell. Look,
Yeah.
this has a good smell to it. I mean, look, I know watching us drink booze on Facebook Live is probably not as enticing to you as having you here, but I did want you guys to see. And now this is the Knob Creek.
This is the Buffalo Trace.
I'm sorry, Buffalo Trace.
So this is I always forget the proof on bottles.
Super smooth,
Yeah, 90 proof, very easy to drink.
Not
Some
too
would call
sweet.
it smooth. Yeah,
not too
very-
sweet. It's got a little something in the back.
Yeah,
Like-
it has the finish that kicks you in the
Right.
back, and that's what you want. You want a good finish on a bourbon. So this is very enjoyable to drink. And that's what we like. Is what I try to do is all the ones that we have. If you like it and you want more of it, you can go up a step. Up a step from Buffalo is Eagle Rare. So
Okay.
this is about 8 years old. Eagle Rare, which retails for right over 30, is 10 years old bourbon.
Okay.
And then Blanton's and so on.
So Buffalo Trace, what we just had. Now, I haven't asked this question yet. Good for drinking straight. Tastes good.
I
Would
would
you
say-
use it for mixing or?
I would say you could drink all of these neat. You can make some very, very good cocktails with all of these. Buffalo Trace is my go-to parade or tailgating bourbon.
Okay.
That's what I like to drink while I'm out. I definitely like, you enjoy it, and it's not like it breaks the bank. So if you drink half a bottle in a day while you're enjoying yourself at a game, then it's totally fine.
Perfect. By the way, perfect holiday gift for that special someone, man or woman or whatever you are. I love getting bottles. I love getting bottles of bourbon for Christmas.
Hint,
Just saying
hint, wink, wink.
I'm not looking at Brian now. We got about 4 minutes. Let's try this big boy.
Yeah. So this one is the
Maker's.
Mark, which is basically the precursor to the Pappy Van Winkle's. It's a wheated bourbon, so it's going to be a lot smoother and a lot softer than the Buffalo Trace.
This is the Makers we're drinking right
Yeah.
now.
And this is honestly,
This is
probably
very
the
ori-
most popular bourbon on the market at this point.
Yeah. You know, it's funny. I used to have this mental picture of Maker's Mark being sweet, and so I've been staying away from it. But I'm not really getting a lot of sweetness out of it.
It's just a tiny, tiny amount of sweetness. It's very soft, very easy to drink, very enjoyable to drink.
And again, Maker's Mark's pretty affordable.
Oh,
You drink
this
Maker
is-
Brian Haldane? Do you drink Maker's Mark?
I stick with Elijah Craig most of the time.
Okay.
But I'm
Solid.
not averse to Maker's Mark at all. It's about, what, $27-$28 a bottle?
25.
Really? There you go.
Depends if you get them on. Right now, everyone's doing sales or Christmas.
Yeah.
So
So before we try the last one, that's going to be the follow-up question is best place to buy bourbon in Baton Rouge. And I know you don't endorse one or another, but
well, we do.
We do have
Okay,
partners.
We have
well,
a
let's
partner.
talk. Let's talk.
Oak
So if you're
Point Fresh Market.
Okay, where's
that's
that?
in Central and Watson.
okay,
They are pretty newer to the scene. My brother actually works at the Watson location. He runs the liquor department, but we get 10% off on all barrel picks. So, like this bottle, this is a barrel pick of Maker's Mark, where they bought an entire barrel of it, and then they picked out their own staves, especially finished, and then they bottle it up. So we get 10% off.
so
all
when you
those
walk
as a B
when you
Society
walk in,
member.
you just tell them, "Hey, I'm a Bourbon Society member," and they
You
know.
show
We
your
actually have
membership card.
cards. Let me show you.
You got a membership card. So okay. So what other partnerships do you guys have besides those two?
Card carrying member.
The other ones are just all the bars in town.
Okay.
Oliver Twist, Hayride, Lost Cove. Obviously, we do tons of events at Lost Cove,
So I
and Three Roll.
have no sponsorship here or partnership here, but I will say that I typically, because Calandros is on my way
And
home.
we go to Calandros.
Calandros is
Yeah.
great.
Calandros
They have a good
has
selection.
Sponsored us for several of our different events.
So we got 2 minutes left. Let's try this last big
This
boy.
is
Knob Creek.
Oh, knob.
So this is from the Jim Beam Small Batch Collection, Knob Creek.
Do you want this one?
We'll just do that after.
Okay.
three.
All right.
So this is probably my favorite of the three.
oh yeah.
How much?
Oh yeah.
$26.95 or so, give or take.
I gotta get a bottle of that. That's good. Very. I mean, I could see drinking these neats. And by the way, if you don't know what neat is, neat just means poured in a glass. Nothing fancy.
Nothing in there, just the whiskey
So
itself.
Scotch gets affected by 1 or 2 drops of water. Does bourbon get affected by 1 or 2
for
drops?
sure, you
Okay.
can. Yeah, adding water to it will completely change any elements that you do. I just, with it being already 100 proof, I don't feel like you need to water it down anymore.
Well, guys, these are 3. So we have Buffalo Trace, Maker's Mark, Knob Creek. All reasonable, all affordable, all great places to start. Now, look, if they join the society and they're like, hey, man, I really don't know a lot about bourbon. If they're like me, I like drinking it, but I don't know the backstory behind a lot of bourbons. These are the 3 I start with. You're available also to help answer questions
for
like,
sure.
now go to this
We have
one, now go to this
private
one.
Facebook group. We have private Discord. I'm literally not during work hours, obviously, if my boss is listening. But
You're not
I am-
drinking on the job or anything, Franz
It's not a
Borkhardt.
big deal. No, we're always available to talk, to help out, advise, everything. So I mean, we literally talk all the time.
Yes, we've got. We just got a message about someone who had found like a bottle from what 1990.
Yeah,
1980.
1990s
Blanton's
you look
bottle.
at it
So
I help. Yeah.
So
But-
before we roll, thank you guys, and then
Thank
y'all are
you.
doing a giveaway too, right? We have the Makers Select.
This is from Oak Point Fresh
So
Market.
go to the Bourbon Society Facebook page like that. Go to the Louisiana Bourbon Festival page like that. Share this video, guys, and you have a chance on Friday. Jamie and David will draw this. They'll post it on the Bourbon Society of Baton Rouge page, so you got to like the page and follow it. And that's a good bottle. That's a good bottle.
Yep.
Guys, this has been a lot of fun. I'm joining the society. We flirt with each other a lot. Like, I've gone to some of the events. I missed the last event because I was giving a legal presentation in New Orleans. But man, y'all are doing some great stuff. It's
try.
not just the bourbon, but all the community stuff you're doing. Thank you, guys. This is what Geaux Rouge is all about: making Baton Rouge better, one
Yes.
bourbon bottle at a time.
Absolutely.
Brian, that's about it for this episode, man.
Yes, it is. Are we staying on Facebook Live?
Yeah, we're
going
gonna
to
stay for a couple of minutes left, and we're gonna talk bourbon.
Well, then we're going to wrap it up
Sure.
for the podcast version, which is available at talk1073.com, if not on Talk 1073 on Saturday nights.
All right, goodbye. Geaux Rouge.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
guys. Thanks for hosting.
All right. So, you got a second? You want to hang out for a minute? I know you're busy.
I got a minute. I got a few minutes.
So, guys, that went really well. Okay, so
Awesome,
we're
thank
still on
you.
Facebook
What
Live.
is your connection to Oak Point?
They're just our partners. We've been working with them for a year and a half. My brother works at he runs the liquor department at the Watson location.
Is that the Love What You Drink Instagram?
That's the central location.
Okay.
That's Clint. Clint's one of our members. He was actually like the fourth person to sign up. I mean, Clint, Nathan, and I, we have a text that we talk literally every day. So,
Yeah, I follow Love What You Drink on Insta. And,
so this is the one. This is the barrel pick that we're giving away. So what they do, Makers does, is they do special staves that they finish it in, and it's very, very popular. Clandros has one. Robert's has one. I've tried them all. This is my second favorite in the city. My first favorite is the other one that Oak Point did, but this one is more universal. So we did this one. Feels like
I wouldn't want to mix this with anything, by the way.
Oh no, this is
I mean, this is $70 a bottle. So this is you enjoy you and cherish it. So
cherish.
So, believe it or not, and I've told Jamie this, and I don't know if I'm still in the camera view or not. I guess I'll move back.
You're out a little.
Yeah. So, believe it or not, I am very uncomfortable going to large-scale events, which is counterintuitive, right? I'm Mr. Personality. I'm Mr. Throw Events. I am very uncomfortable.
You're speaking to your twin.
So I know, having talked to her before, I know you kind of feel the same way I feel. And in fact, when I go to the events and I'm like, David looks about how I feel inside right now. So has this helped that out with you at all, meeting new people and connecting? Or is
it's been a blessing in disguise. I mean, honestly, if you ask, I've been pretty nervous. I mean, like all my coworkers were like, "It's okay, David, you got this today." Everyone knew like how nervous I was just coming on here, and
this is laid back.
I know,
right?
But yeah, it's helped a lot. I mean, for sure, just getting me out there. Liquid Courage also always.
Well,
helps
you guys are also doing, and I'm not just saying this. It is amazing that you have used this love of something to parlay that into helping out community needs. And man, is it just, I mean, look, throwing a large scale, as someone who's thrown smaller scale festivals, it's a pain in the butt. It's a pain in the butt, but it looks the part. It looks beautiful. I have no doubt.
We do need to shout out Red 6 Media for putting together this incredible graphic work. It's Matt Darden and Joe. Yeah.
And I'm so sorry, I forgot what's her name. Christy?
Yeah.
Well,
Rushing.
Christy Rushing. I'm sorry. But Joe is the one who actually did the poster for us. He's one of the partners. And then Matt Darden, his wife, is one of our board members.
So I told your lovely wife, I said, when y'all are ready to start taking on sponsors for this, I want to be a sponsor either through Geaux Rouge or Borkart Law Firm. I think this is going to be amazing. Good indoor. indoor event.
Yes,
so,
we love an indoor event
yeah,
with
I mean-
AC.
No, that's a necessity. I mean,
So-
we knew it had to be.
And it is an away game. I know a lot of
It's
people.
not just an
in
away game. It's Arkansas.
It's Arkansas
and they are
away.
Trust me, like when we started planning this back in July, I guess. We were just waiting for the day that LSU put out their schedule.
Yeah.
The day it did it, we sent out our RFPs to all the event halls and saying, "All right, this is the date. Where can we do it?"
Yeah.
It's like we
Right.
were just waiting to choose. And we
It's
knew it had to
actually
be
Arkansas date is probably even better than on open date because everybody schedules everything on an open date. Arkansas is garbage, and
Yeah.
they just hired like Matt Foley as their new head coach.
I know it's going to be awesome.
Yeah, the SNL character, Matt Foley. I know.
So where do we go from here? This is what I'm going to suggest to you guys. I have a partnership with Sullivan's. I've talked, in fact, Leighton Carbo
Leighton's
loves
awesome.
Leighton's awesome.
loves you
Leighton's
guys. We've already talked about doing something for you guys at Sullivan's. I am not yet a member, so I'm not going to overstep my bounds. But point being is I want to do something in the future with you guys on this, even if it's just, hey, we go do a Thirsty Thursday. So Thirsty Thursdays, for those who don't know, is a smaller version of the Geaux Rouge show.
Awesome.
We basically do a Facebook Live interview of something. I'd like to get y'all on there for that too. Talk about a bourbon. Maybe we could all three of us go try. Maybe not Jamie, but maybe Leighton try a type of bourbon. Because I asked him. I said, man, what's your go-to bourbon? And he's like, well, a food guy and a bourbon guy. There's always what's the situation? It's like when people ask me, hey, where do I go for brunch in Baton Rouge? I'm like, well, let me ask you some questions.
Yeah.
Who are you with? What are you dressed like? This, that, and the other. So, I mean, dude, I've got to get some of this Maker's Mark.
Well, you can win the giveaway. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
I mean, I wasn't planning on taking those bottles home with me, so feel free.
I will take one of the bottles.
Please feel free. Take any of them.
God, you are. You're like my best. Did we just become best friends?
I don't know. Maybe once you actually sign up, then we'll be best friends.
So here's the question.
Stop drinking Glenlivet.
So I can't. So here's the deal. So I have a liquor rep buddy of mine that gives me Jameson's, gives me Glenlivet. So when you see me drinking higher end Glenlivet or booze, most of the time I'm not paying for it. Kind of like that. Now, let's talk Scotch for a second.
Okay.
Highland Park 18. I call it affectionately Christmas in a glass.
Yeah.
Oh, what? Dude, it's so good.
So hard to impress.
It is. I'm hard to impress. Here's
It's
the
not
problem.
bad.
So my brother, I would argue, is probably the smartest Scotch person in the city. He knows more about Scotch than probably anybody else. He worked at Calandro's, and that's where he learned everything. And then he's also just one of the smartest people
So
I
what's
know.
his favorite Scotch?
Oh, I mean, he's gonna have something weird, something like Lagavulin or
So,
Cal or something like that.
Does he
But
like peaty smoky?
He likes peaty smoky.
So I have that too. I do a Lagavulin every once in a while, but
but
I don't want to smell like a dragon. Like it's enough that I go smoking
I
cigars.
know. I was going to say, then don't do the cigar. if you
So
don't
God
smell-
bless my wife, poor Shannon. Okay,
Poor
so poor she's so like she could have Brian. She could have done so much better than Franz Borgart. God bless her. She's the mother of my child. So I come home, and if I've been smoking cigars, I know what you've been doing. You're smoking cigars. If I sit in the living room, not that I drink by myself, but if I sit in the living room and I drink Lagavulin or some smoky peaty cigar, I literally get what are you trying to be, a dragon? I mean, I'd rather you smoke cigars because you can, the peat. Do you like peat? I mean,
No, I don't drink Scotch at all for exactly that reason.
it's strong. You got to look, bourbon is the other end of the spectrum, right? I mean,
See, we're actually we're getting some bourbon guys into Scotch. Like I literally put on my website a few months ago, like here are the best Scotches to try if you're into bourbon only. So like, I mean, there's definitely Scotches out there that most people would enjoy if they're bourbon people. We just don't even know about them.
Right.
That's where like my brother who knows all these like Old Pulteney. I never heard of it until 6 months ago. Mortlock, Glendronach. These are Scotches that are popular. Never knew anything about them.
where do I get those?
Calandro's,
Oak Point Fresh Market,
Point,
Central and Watson.
Hocus Pocus has a lot. That's another one of our great partners.
So
Or
what
not
are
partners,
what are
but
the
they're
what are
sponsors.
the dues again?
$50.
That's it.
That's it.
Is there a lifetime membership? Can I just pay?
It's $50 a year, but your first year you get one of these.
I'm gonna-
Oak
You do
Tasters
get a
for
free glass.
how many members do you have? You guys?
Wait.
have?
134.
That's amazing.
We launched in June.
That is awesome.
Yeah, we're very excited.
Like,
We're very proud
like
of everything we've
she'll
done.
tell you it takes a lot to impress me. Like genuine. It
The
takes a lot
sigh.
to be genuinely impressed. This one's been dealing with me for a while. So I am legitimately, dude, getting people to financially commit, especially right now, economically, people are just not joining organizations. We know,
yeah.
Yeah, people are not joining organizations, and so.
But there is a clear financial value, and that's hard to do in association. But if on bourbonbr.com/benefits, it lists out all of the discounts that you can get and all of the benefits of being a member. Because there are other things like we've partnered with Caneland, and some others around town. It's 3-roll. I'm so sorry. I'm still
off bottles. If you go to a 3-roll and you buy a bottle, some of their rums are $40 a piece. You get 20% off of that.
So speaking, can we talk about rums for a second?
We can try.
We will be focusing on rum at the Bourbon Fest because you can't have a bourbon festival in Louisiana, calling ourselves Louisiana Bourbon Fest, without at least mentioning rum. So we will have,
and that's an aspect of the Bourbon Festival that we really didn't touch on, but it's tapping into the distillery. There's a Louisiana Distillery Guild it's no longer craft; it's just Louisiana Distillery Guild that's based in Louisiana for all of the local spirits. So we're going to be bringing them into the festival and kind of giving them a platform to say this is what we have to offer, and they actually have a craft distillery tour that's put on or arranged by the Department of Tourism.
I recently dove into the whole Louisiana rice vodka.
Yes.
And we're doing a really good job with it.
We are.
And it's amazing how clean it is. The tastes are amazing. The malleability of them are amazing. And there's a few in particular that are doing better than others. But I had no idea this was a whole thing.
Yeah.
And it really is. And Louisiana's kind of at the forefront of it as far as the product end of it is concerned. So y'all please holler at me when y'all tap into that one. I'm not so much a rum guy, but when you get into those rice vodkas.
For sure.
Let me say this, and I learned this. I was in Denver for a federal criminal defense seminar, and I was in a cigar bar, and I'm talking to the owner. Cigars is a unifier, just like bourbon. And I'm talking to him, and he's a rum guy. And I'm like, I think a rum being uninitiated as like Bacardi. And so I'm like, oh, great, rum. And he's like, no. He's like, you need to try this. And the rums almost tasted like bourbon.
They do.
There are a lot of rums that are aged in bourbon barrels.
You need to come with me to Lost Cove sometime, and we just need to. Well, we need to do 2 nights.
Well, you're best friends
nights.
now. So.
Did we just become best friends?
We're going to do 3 nights. We're going to do like Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. I'm so sorry. Tuesday will be rum. Wednesday will be scotches. Thursday bourbon. So we're just going to take you the whole.
Where's
slew.
Lost Cove?
It's on Essen.
It's the old
it
French
used to be
Quarter
the French
Daiquiri.
Quarter Daiquiri.
On Essen.
I know exactly where that is.
Yeah.
So look. So my problem is, if we're talking, can we open up? This is a safe space. So my problem is when I drink bourbon, I'm like 0 to 80. Like I'm not just drinking a few sips of bourbon. Like tonight, if I didn't have to, I'm going to Las Vegas Wednesday through Sunday, covering his show tomorrow morning. It's going to be a Geaux Rouge, Brian Haldane crossover kind of thing.
Excellent.
I dig it. I respect it.
I'm getting on a plane at 2:00. My concern, like I'm already thinking about drinking the Maker's Mark. My concern is I got to pack tonight. And like, I know me. If anybody knows me better than me, it's me. And so what does that mean? What's that look about?
Did you just say I have to pack tonight?
Dude, I have to pack tonight.
Yeah, all you gotta do is put 5 shirts in a bag and have your glass in your hand the whole time.
I was gonna say, pour your glass, put it in your kitchen, go pack your bags, and there's your award.
You remember
It's
when
like a
Don
pancake syrup.
Corleone shakes Johnny Fontaine?
Be a man!
You can act like a man! Yeah. You've got to pack tonight?
Come on. Packing takes 10 minutes tops, and that's including
kind of-
all your toiletries.
Franz wears pocket squares, so it takes
knows
like
where
15 minutes.
Wood brimmed hats.
I saw you post that today. I chuckled.
I know you did.
I'm sorry. Like, come on. Wood brimmed hats.
I do things that not everybody else does. I
You
go
got
out.
Gotta be
brackish
different.
ties. I know you
The
respect.
brackish ties. Okay, so here's the thing. The brackish ties, I actually love the appearance of them. They're problematic because they don't stay as hooked as they should, and so I have to periodically check on whether or not it's hooked or not because I'll like look down and it's like swinging. The wooden bow ties are legit. I love the wooden bow. I know. You and I are gonna have a fashion argument one day with some people who do bow ties about bow ties versus normal ties. Because,
That's fine.
Because I'm a bow tie guy. I've done ties. I do ties. I just like bow ties better.
All right.
I mean, bow ties are cool. I mean,
Yeah.
I love a good bow tie, but I mean, it's not. I mean, wooden bow ties are like where I draw the line. Like, come on, that's silly.
Right, because it's not it's not a tie and it's not a bow.
Yeah.
It's just a cutout.
It's just a piece of wood on your neck. Like, I want that handmade silk on my neck. I don't
That's
want
all
a
right.
piece of wood.
So, okay.
No longer best friends.
So if you had to, no, you are. Best friends sometimes disagree. It's okay. So if you had to choose between the Buffalo Trace, the Knob Creek, and the Makers for your first bottle, Knob Creek?
Well, okay. For your first bottle, I would say Makers.
Okay. So I went to a recent Knob Creek cigar dinner at Jubin's.
Mm-hmm.
So
I wanted to make. I couldn't.
So let me talk to you about what I've been doing, and we'll figure out a way of playing with this. I don't make any money off this. I smoke cigars, and I look at the owner or GM of a Vanaport and say, "Hey, I want to do a dinner where I can eat and smoke and drink." Mm-hmm. And they're like, "Okay, plan it." So I reached out to the GM of Jubin's, who's a cigar smoker, and we planned a multi-course meal. They partnered with Knob Creek, and I was like, "Okay, I don't know Knob Creek, but that's fine." Mm-hmm. Now they did mixed drinks, so. But in the same breath, I suspect if we said, "Hey, can we just do on the rocks or neat?" they probably would do it. Yeah. Our second cigar dinner is actually this Monday. It's going to be at Rouge.
Awesome!
Well, actually,
good.
it's going to be in Perkins Road on the balcony of the movie theater.
Oh, fun!
They are. I'm sponsoring it, tables and chairs, and then Rouge is going to bring the food up there. It's going to be 4 courses. Now, the problem with that venue is we can do wine. Without the permit, you run into some issues. But my next one, I'm talking to Umami. I'm talking to different places. That the problem is Umami has the back patio that's covered.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Back patio that's covered. He's a big bourbon, scotch, and whiskey fan, by the way.
Oh, excellent.
So I'm trying to find restaurants that we can pair. Part of the problem is smoking. Mm-hmm. You have to have an area to smoke.
What about Zorba's? They have that courtyard area.
Are they cigar friendly? I love Zorba's.
I don't know about cigar
how do you
friendly,
how do you feel about Zorba's?
It's delicious. Best food in town.
I don't know if it's the best Greek and Lebanese in town.
It is.
It's pretty down.
Wow. I mean, I'm a steak and potato guy, but the people I know that do all that type of stuff, they're all say Zorba's.
So what is the best in town if it's not Zorba's?
I am biased.
What?
I like the corporate syrups.
Okay.
He does a lot of community stuff, and Shannon is a big fan of his. Mm-hmm. That is my go-to. Albasha is hitting. Albasha's hit and miss.
I see. Mm-hmm.
Corporate Albasha used to be one of my favorites. And now it's like I don't know what I'm getting.
I like their Lebanese tea more, but I do agree about the syrups one.
So on the keto diet, which I know you think is fad, on the keto diet,
when did I say that?
I read
if
Facebook.
it works, I mean,
what?
Get at it.
I dare you to find that post. I've never said that.
So hey, I ate a fresh junkie yesterday. I love my salad, but listen.
I like how you could call my diets a fad and then accuse me of doing the exact same thing. I never said that.
So here's the deal. So long story made short, I have done Zorba's. I love Zorba's. Zorba's is almost different than everything else.
It is.
So like can you really compare the apples and that's like me comparing like I don't know. Give me a poop Jim Beam to like something that, you know.
For me, Zorba's is your dinner Lebanese and the rest are your lunch Lebanese.
Right.
That's how I classify it.
Bold statement.
Zorba's is delicious and a wonderful dinner.
So we're going to do a bourbon dinner, and the cool thing is some of these bars you guys host these at, it's a matter of just doing a pop-up and getting the clearance to do a pop-up. Mm-hmm. But look, we're going to wrap this up cuz y'all have lives. I know you're working.
Yeah.
Guys, you've been listening to Geaux Rouge on Facebook Live. Behind the boards is Brian Haldanes. We have Jamie and David from the Bourbon Society of Baton Rouge. You guys have a great weekend. We'll see you next Tuesday.
Thank you.